K-Rock Mid-Atlantic Rock Reviews Army Rock Show. I'm here with Rivals. It's their first time on Shiprocked Cruise. So, hey, Rivals, welcome to the show.
Hi.
So, hey, first things first, we were just talking a little bit off mic about it, but here we are on a boat, the ocean. Well, I guess it's a Gulf right behind us. Tell us about the Shiprocked experience so far. Like, tell me how it's going.
It's wavy. The waves are actually like pretty big right now. It's all of our first cruise, so I have like no idea what normally happens. But people keep telling me that it's super wavy, so I'm like, yeah, sure, it's wavy. I will say that I was falling over in the shower this morning, so I'm gonna go ahead and say it's wavy.
The buffet food is fantastic.
Yeah, the food is great.
Yeah, everybody's super nice.
Yeah,
like literally everyone.
Everyone. You can walk up to anybody in any group and just like everyone's welcoming. Like no matter who they are or what they're here for. Like everybody's like, yo, what's up? Like let's hang out. So that's kind of cool.
So, talk about your first show. You already had a show. So,
Yes.
tell us how that went and like what the experience was like for you guys.
It was wavy.
Wavy, yeah.
Wavy again.
Yeah, for real. Like,
There were definitely some times I got thrown off balance.
yeah,
too.
yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, this is just sitting down. You can actually feel it a lot more because you guys are jumping around. But like if you're sitting in one spot, like you're really
Yeah.
Feeling it like this. It's fucking.
I bet.
There was a few times I jumped in the air and landed somewhere else.
Yeah.
Just because of everything, and I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, shit, yeah. No, but it was really good. There was a good crowd, good participation, good everything was really sick. Like I said, everyone really obviously wants to be here. So it's like everybody who comes and watches, like they're there because they really want to be there, and it's just a really cool vibe. Like it's really
Now,
sick.
how much of it did you feel like once you knew you were on the boat? Because this crowd on this boat does their research. Did you notice it shows that people were warning you ahead of time or telling you about it ahead of Shiprocked that they were coming?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely, because I mean, I know a lot of we're still pretty small in the eyes of the music world, and so many people knew all the words and they had just started listening to us, and I was like, that is the coolest thing ever. You connected with our album enough to know every word before you got here.
There was some dude that walked by and he's like, "Are you in a band?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "What band?" And I was like, "Rivals." He's like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to your stuff. For your show." I was like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah. I think the coolest thing is we were walking up into the terminal, and as people just kept going, "Rivals," and I was like, "Hey, that's us."
That's the way to say it for some reason. Everyone just goes Rivals.
Rivals. There's always that influctuation
we
on
were printing out our boarding passes for Walgreens, and someone walked by and they're like, "Yeah, you're playing Shiprocked."
Yeah.
Like, what?
How do you know us? We're so not cool.
Well, you're selling yourself short, but
thank you.
So you guys are touring right now, and you took a little break to do this, I guess. So but tell us a little bit about the tour and what's coming up after the cruise.
We have
five
to go to sleep.
5 more dates
in my own bed.
I think we have about 5 or 6 more dates left, and we're just gonna hit those dates and have fun. And
we're doing
I just want to point something out that during the headliner, we established that we're playing an hour set through the entire tour, and I told the band that once after Shiprocked that it's gonna go back to the 30-minute set, and all of them are like, "Hey, we're going back to 30 minutes now."
Yeah, that is one of the things that we didn't anticipate, because when you sign up for Shiprocked, or they ask you to play for an hour, and we've never done that before. It's we've only played for 30 minutes maximum, so it took us a minute to really adjust, because we've been doing the hour for the whole tour, so we kind of are trying to get used to it, and it's hard. I applaud every band who plays for longer, and then it's fucking hard. And on top of it, you're on a moving boat, so it's even harder. You're just this is so weird. I don't even understand what's happening, but it's cool though.
And I don't know if there's a level, sea level, or higher elevation or something, because after the second song, I was just dying, literally dying.
It was those lights too.
The lights were hot.
Oh my
I think the ship is not as cold as I personally like, because I like it freezing everywhere.
California people, though.
I know. I like it cold, so I'm even in a room, it's cranked all the way, and I'm it's still so hot in here.
Hey, so I want to ask you a little bit about the Damned Soul record. Who was your producer, and where'd you record that thing?
We actually worked with a couple people on it. Aaron Edwards, John Espy, and Cody Stewart. Aaron kind of wrote a lot of vocals and kind of rocked. I guess I should start with John. We initially wrote the record with John Espy, who's drummer of the Red Jumpsuit Apparatus. And we kind of wrote everything, and it was super pop, and we were we kind of want to grunge it up a little bit more. So we went to Aaron Edwards, and he kind of helped us like throw in a bunch of more like instruments to just kind of really give it that like extra like vibe, and like we just kind of like sat down and kind of rewrote the songs with him, and he worked a lot with me with like the vocals and like tried to like really make sure that everything was like. He's really good at like pulling out what's wrong, if that makes sense. Like he's really good at pushing emotion and being like, hey, like you can do better. You're stronger than that. Like you can come up with a better way to say that. And like he really like pushed me and like really like I don't know like made me feel more. And then we had Cody Stewart mix and master it, and he did a lot of like the drum work and just added some like synth stuff for the most part. But yeah, so we actually worked with a couple people. It took us like 2 or 3 years to write it. So like it was like that's why we went to because it was such a long span. So like John would leave for tour, so we'd go work with Aaron, and then like John would come back, so then we would go work with John again. So it was like just like flipping and flopping.
And plus, I think we were touring during that time too.
Yeah, we were
there's a lot of
touring
touring
too. So it was like a really yeah.
So my favorite tune off the record is Low, and am I in the minority or majority with that? Like, what comes to be the fan favorite for you guys?
A lot of people like Low. Honestly, it's really mixed. I think we kind of like the way we did the record was like we did some like super poppy and some like kind of heavier, and like it really and some that are emotional, like super emotional, and some that are kind of more just like like lovey-dovey or like heartbreak or whatever, and there's like some that are like actually like a lot more deeper, like going into like mental like illness stuff, and like I think it just really depends on the person. Moonlight's for sure a really big one for us. Over it, obviously Low, like our big singles. Layla hits off really hard too, just because it has a really positive message.
So that's so funny. That was the next thing I was going to ask you was about that tune. Tell me the story behind that song.
Yeah. So we were. It's about Josh. His nickname is Layla. No. So my sister was pretty much told that she could never have kids. It wasn't really a thing that she could do, and I was about to leave for tour, and she handed me a note, like a card, and the card was like, it said, "You've always made a fantastic sister, and you're gonna make a better aunt." And at the point, it took me like a really long second to process. Mickett was actually there.
She cried.
I cried. I cried really hard because I love kids. I really love kids, and I have 2 siblings, and neither of them had kids at the time, and I obviously wasn't about to have kids. I was 20 or 21 at the time, and so I was like, I was like, crap, like I'm gonna be an aunt. And so we had 1 song left on the record, and I was like, I kind of want to write a letter to her, write like an open like thing of like why life's beautiful, like why you should keep trying, why you should like never give up, and like it's kind of like the backstory of my song for my niece Layla.
It's a great tune. Now, you guys kind of like almost were bucking the musical trend to release a full-length record, because like people don't do that anymore. Was that a big decision for the band to do the full length versus like an EP or singles?
I think you guys really wanted to do something that was very different, because you had the EP.
Yeah, we had the EP before that came out in like 2015.
Don't look it up.
It was very different for sure. I don't know. I think just be like with us getting signed, and I feel like the expectation at the time was like, hey, like you should do an album. It's like it's your first like bigger release, like go all out, do a full-blown album, and it's kind of just what we ended up doing, I guess. I don't know.
Now, you alluded to this in talking about the record. Like, I almost feel like there's a new genre of music, like I kind of refer to as like pop metal. Do you feel that a little bit?
Yeah, for sure. So
dark pop.
Yeah, we've been calling
is that what it is?
We've been calling ourselves dark pop. Like I could say alternative dark pop, because like dark pop is technically like Halsey. She's like technically dark pop. If you want to get really technical. Still stupid. But we're like alternative dark pop in a sense, but yeah, like a metal-y, poppy kind of thing. For sure, yeah, it's like kind of like, I don't know, it's super weird. It's like definitely a newer
I feel like it's
thing.
making
this new album we're writing,
new album's way poppier and way metaler. So it's like metaler. I don't know how to describe
Another
it.
New genre right there.
Yeah, metaler. I don't know how to describe it.
Metaler.
Yeah, we definitely have some like heavier songs, and we definitely have some lighter songs. Like we're really mixing it up on this one for sure. Like a lot. So I'm excited to see how it comes.
It's gonna be something for everyone's ears.
Yeah.
We all come from different like backgrounds, like music musically. So I think this next record will really showcase that a lot.
Yeah.
So I'll put you on the spot here, each of you, as we go forward. It's only the first day or second day of the cruise. Who do you want to see the most? Like, do you have a band here that's like a go-to?
Papa Roach. I want to see Papa Roach. If I don't see that song, I don't know what I'm going to do with my life.
Atreyu.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
I've loved Seven Dust as a kid growing up, so this is my first time watching them, so I'm really excited.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. What you?
You know, honestly,
I really
like,
wanna see nothing
there's
more
not
too.
really one that I'm like, oh my god, you know, like it's just kind of like I saw Motionless and White yesterday, you know, like I Prevail tonight, like
Yeah, I'm excited
gonna
to
see
see I
them
Prevail.
for a few songs, but I'm mostly stoked for. Why am I forgetting his name? The comedian.
Oh, Brian Posehn.
That's probably what I'm more stoked
When is
about
that?
to
That's
see.
nice. It's
Tonight?
tonight
Okay.
at the Eagle Athlete.
I'm so down.
You guys are playing tonight, right?
No.
No,
No, it's tomorrow night.
Yeah.
It's a late set for you guys tomorrow night.
No,
right?
yesterday. Yeah, earlier
Oh, okay.
set.
Last night's late.
We played
Okay,
8 tomorrow.
So,
Eight.
Nine.
It's 8.
Oh, I guess we
yeah, you
played.
never know with the weather. So
Yeah.
who the heck
It could be
I
different.
don't
We
know. They
don't
just say be here, be there, and I'm just like, okay.
know. Sure.
I kind of hope that things get like switched around even more. We can play like a bigger theater.
Yeah.
Last minute, that'd be
Yeah.
so sick. Oh my god.
Well,
It's so big right now.
we've been talking with Rivals, and go check out their record that's out right now. They got a couple more tour dates that are coming up. So Rivals, man, thanks so much for being here. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Oh, should we talk about the incarceration?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, go ahead. What you got?
Is it June? July?
I
July?
haven't pulled a poll.
July.
In July, we'll be playing Incarceration Festival with I Prevail.
Yeah.
Five Finger Death Bunch.
No, we haven't been to that festival, but we
POD.
know of it.
Red jumpsuit apparatus.
Yeah,
will be there.
I know. We get to
Yeah, it's gonna be big.
dude. We get to hang out with our buds in red jumpsuit again, and I'm very hyped because we miss them a lot.
We have a few other big things, unfortunately, we
Can't say, yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah,
You never know.
It's
We
gonna be a fun summer.
Yeah.
Let's just
we
say
just
that.
need to show up at one or two of them. You never know.
Yeah, that'd be cool. We'd love to see you.
Also, just announced a new local show in late February with
In LA, yeah.
in LA with Night Versus.
Yeah.
And that'll be
Our management
The year.
company's anniversary.
Yeah,
thing.
show they're doing. So I'm pretty stoked. Yeah.
Well, we'll keep an eye on you guys, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the cruise. And thanks for spending some time with us.
You too. Bye.